Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, and this is Tuesdays with Michelle. I plan on doing Tuesdays with Michelle every other Tuesday, so be looking for that in your inbox, and if not, you can always go to the site and check it out there as well. I also would like comments to be left below so that I can find out what you want me to teach in the following Tuesday, so that I have a list of things that people have been wanting me to teach. But if you have any questions or concerns or feedback, I would love that, and suggestions for upcoming classes. So what is exactly a smart object? So I pulled this definition out, and smart objects are layers that contain image data from raster or vector images, such as Photoshop or Illustrator files. Smart objects preserve an image's source content with all its original characteristics, enabling you to perform non-destructive editing to the layer. So this is there's really two ways that you can import an image. A lot of times I will teach you to drag it and drop it, and that's whenever you don't really have to shrink it or enlarge it. But if you think you're going to be shrinking it or enlarging it, you might want to pay attention to this next few minutes. I'm going to bring in one photo, but two different ways. So on the left hand side, I'm going to be placing a photo. So that's placed. Let's zoom back out a little bit. And then the next one I'm going to drag and drop. So I'm going to go File and Open. That same photo, the exact same photo, get my Move tool, drag it and drop it, and there it is in place. Now, I'm shrinking it down to the same size, approximately the same size as the other photo, because I want to make sure that these are apples to apples. So the one on the left is a smart object, and you know that because you placed it, and you know it because you've got this little black and white little box over here in the very corner of your layers panel. Then the top one is the one that was dragged and dropped into the page. Now notice what happens here when I select smart object, the one on the left, and I shrink it down. I also have my constrained proportions. Let me just close out of this. Close that one out. Uh-oh. So I shrunk that one down, and now I'm going to bring it back up, and it looks like it's starting to pixelate, but it's really not. See, now it's still in that same mode that the one on the right is. So I'm going to do the same to this one. This is a non-smart object. So I'm going to shrink it down. Make sure you have constrained proportions checked down there when you're doing this, and then I check mark it, and then I'm going to bring it back up. Now look at the difference. You might not see a big difference, but when you zoom in, you can start to tell that the faces are a little bit more blurry on the right hand side, which is a non-smart object. Let's just do that again. Let's just take this one down, shrink it down, go ahead and check it, shrink this one down and check it, and then bring them back up, and then bring this one back up. And you can tell there's a big difference in the quality. So basically, if you know that you're not going to take it and shrink it down and then shrink it and then take it back up, then just copying and pasting it into your file is not a big deal. But if you think you're going to be doing all kinds of, rotating and shrinking it down and taking it back up, then maybe a smart object is what you need to start using, and that's when you place a photo. Another thing you might want to consider if you're using Photoshop, you can use the filters with smart objects. Now we're using version 12, which is the latest at the time of this taping, but when version 13 comes out, you might have more options with the smart object, okay? So if you try to do a filter to this smart object, you're going to go Filter, Artistic, and maybe Fresco. It's going to say, hey, this smart object layer must be simplified before it can be edited. Would you like to do this process? And then you can click on yes or no. If you click on yes, it's going to go ahead and apply that filter, and it will take it from a smart object to a non-smart object. See over here to the right hand side now? There's no little icon that indicates it's a smart object. So hopefully this makes a little bit more sense. It's kind of tricky, but I think once you get to the once you start working with them a little bit more, it's going to make perfect sense. So keep in mind, smart objects when you place things. Now also vector images from Illustrator. If you work with Illustrator, you can pull in logos. And when you pull in a logo, you can shrink it down and then take it back up, and it will keep that mathematical equation for your vector-based image. So those of you who work with Illustrator know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't work with Illustrator, not a big deal. That doesn't need to make sense to you. This has been Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers. If you have a chance, go ahead and buzz on over to our site at naods.com, and you can also log in if you're a member. You want to make sure that you see all the new videos that I have available inside there. Let's go into the membership area. All of the videos that we've been doing for the last 2 years are available inside this membership area. And if you're not a member and you want to become a member, just go to that secret page. It's naods.com/secret. Take a look at our specials. Now they might be a little bit different right now because you might be viewing this later. But if you are viewing this at the time of the taping, which is at the end of August, you can check out our bonuses for this week. Thanks for joining me and have a great day. Make sure to comment below. Let me know what you want to learn in the future, and hit the like button and share us on Pinterest. Thank you. Bye-bye.